Welcome back to News at Noon. Did you miss us? It's only been a day, but you know, I kind of like having someone that thinks about me all the time, as long as you don't stalk me on social media and stuff, which you should in this case, because we like having followers, subscribers, commenters. Anyways, on today's episode of News at Noon, we're talking about the topic that everyone is always talking about, but never actually does anything about. That is, until today. Negotiators from developing countries have succeeded in placing the matter on the formal agenda of this year's climate summit. The commitment of direct funding for the loss and damage represents a major break from the precedent. Wealthy nations have previously avoided the calls to help the poorer countries recover from climate disasters. European Commission President backs the idea of a new fund for poorer nations affected by climate change. Ireland pledges $10 million to a new effort to protect the most vulnerable countries, while Germany pledges $170 million for a new program that would offer vulnerable nations a form of insurance in the event of climate emergencies. Other leaders say that the time has finally come for real loss and damage funding. Surprisingly, yet unsurprisingly, the United States has not agreed to a new fund. Good old Uncle Sam is pinching his pennies when it comes to climate change. Instead, the US plans to unveil a new plan on Wednesday, designed at getting big corporations to purchase carbon offsets. The money would go towards driving down emissions in developing nations by retiring fuel plants and creating renewable energy. Have you ever wondered if someday someone would dig up your old stuff only to find weird things like memes and celebrity bathwater? Well, that's exactly what happened to some random ancient Roman person when Italian archaeologists unearthed 24 beautifully preserved bronze statues in Tuscany. They're believed to date back to ancient Roman times. The statues were discovered under the muddy ruins of an ancient bathhouse. They depicted Greek-Roman gods, and experts say the discovery could rewrite history. Imagine rewriting history with your old bathwater and meme collection. That would be something. Iran is taking a page on how to start a civil revolution when its parliament voted overwhelmingly in favor of the death penalty for protesters. Iran has been experiencing unprecedented levels of protest and civil unrest following the death of Mahsa Amini, a 22-year-old Kurdish woman arrested for allegedly wearing an improper hijab. Hijab. I said it right the first time, right? Yeah. Okay. Just imagine potentially getting executed for simply voicing your opinions. That's just rude. Oh, midterms. You know it's almost election day when your phone gets spammed with messages telling you to vote on this proposition, not vote on another proposition. Like, how did they even get our phone number in the first place? Anyways, only 12 of 53 most competitive races based on Reuters' analysis of the leading nonpartisan forecasters have been decided. Democrats were projected as the winners in 10 of those 12 contests. The Senate is still a toss-up with the pivotal battle in Arizona, Georgia, and Nevada still in play. Democrats currently control 50-50 of the Senate, with Vice President Kamala Harris able to break any ties. Republicans have flipped 5 Democratic seats in the US House. More than 46 million Americans voted ahead of Election Day, according to data from the US Election Project. High inflation and abortion rights were voters' top concerns. Crime, a major focus in the Republican messaging in the campaign's final weeks, was a top issue for just about 1 in 10 voters. Republicans have been favored to win a majority that would allow them to halt Biden's agenda. Early results suggested that the Democrats' fear of being wiped out due to Biden's lacking approval recently has been somewhat avoided. This definitely makes watching the race between red and blue a little more interesting on Google. Oh, Russia, the world's quote-unquote second largest military, continues to embarrass itself on the world stage. The mobilized soldiers were allegedly sent to the front lines in Ukraine without appropriate equipment or training. Some reports have even said that they were sent without weapons. Imagine being sent onto the battlefield against level 50 Omega Chads with the best gear without any weapons yourself. That's just horrifying. Mobilized men were reportedly threatened with execution when they said they didn't want to take part in the war. The news comes as the British Ministry of Defense and Russian unit officers are likely threatening to shoot deserting soldiers. The UK ministry said in an assessment on the conflict on Friday that Russian forces have likely started to deploy barrier troops to stop their own troops from fleeing. Well, that's it for today. If you guys stuck around to the very end, thank you. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more. for more content on whatever's going on in the world. See you guys tomorrow if you wake up in time. Or actually, if we wake up in time, we'll try our best.